place that somewhere kind of on the thing there for me. It'll become clear as to why partway through the presentation. So, as Rick said, I'm Adam, and I'm here to talk about digital accessibility beyond the screen, if I kind of know what that is, so we'll find out. I wanted to start sort of going back to the future just a little bit in the sense of where have we come from. So, excuse me. So we've come from a place where digital accessibility was primarily about screens, and it was about ensuring that people with disabilities could use computer hardware and computer software. So it meant that we had assistive technologies like this. You had the mouth stick, which is basically, as it says, a stick that you put in your mouth that you can then use to, hit the tab key and the various keys on the keyboard to actually make use of your computer. You've then got the head wand, which was a similar concept, except it's on your head, and you use that to, do the same thing with the keyboard. And then you had the refreshable braille displays, which basically connected to the computer, and then it would output what's on the screen in braille on the refreshable braille display. You then feel that and move, do your thing, and you've got the one that everybody knows, the most sort of common and most well-known, which is the screen reader. Anybody who's heard a screen reader before knows it's not the most exciting thing out of the box because it sounds like a robot voice. So that's kind of where we were, and I've kind of glossed over that a little bit because that was all about screens, and I kind of want to move on to the bits that aren't about screens. And where are we now? Well, we're in a time now where digital accessibility is actually all about inclusion, participation in society, and empowerment for people with disabilities. And the power's basically in your pocket with your smartphone, it's on your wrist with your smartwatch, or it's part of your clothing. So the first example of that is the smartphone as an assistive technology, and hopefully the video works and the sound works, and if it doesn't, I'm going to blame Rick because, why not? So we'll see what happens.
This is the station to rock you, shock you, move you, and groove you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My name is Patrick Lafayette. Don't you ever forget, it's Chris Mix Radio. Patrick with you. To do something for yourself.
Voiceover on Logic Pro X
is one of the greatest things you could ever do.
Record. Menu 10 items. Count in. Submenu. Metronome setting. Check mark. Allow quick punch and check mark.
Now, I can express myself.
Camera. Picture 2 in progress.
There you go.
Picture 1 is citrus printed plastic bottle.
It's a big thing when you're a father and you want to participate.
Picture 3 is garlic powder.
Ha!
Picture 3 is person holding white onions.
Oh. What's up, baby? Not just make food, but make excellent food where I see my wife take her shoes off and say, give me some more. And my kids lick their chops and say, Daddy, that was great. I have so much that I've always wanted to express. I'm like a volcano. I'm like Pele or Mount Etna.
Are the track for recording?
Yeah, I'm about ready to erupt.
So that's kind of cool because I look at that and I go, all right, so that guy was able to cook food for his family using his iPhone. And although it wasn't the phone cooking the food, it was the phone that enabled him to do what he needed to do, and in that case, use the barcode scanner on the ingredients he was looking at and go, yeah, I've picked up the right thing. And that's pretty cool as an enabling technology. You've then got the smartwatch. How many people in the room have got smartwatches? Yeah, all right. I'm betting that none of you have got one like this.
That is an active braille device. It is connected to the smartphone via Bluetooth and can receive any text information from any app or service. For input, there is a crown and 2 buttons. It comes with full watch functionality. That is made from super light durable aluminum, and the battery lasts for 7 days. But most importantly, it's affordable at just $290.
I have this Braille smartwatch, which is a huge life-changing technology for me. It behaves as a navigation, notification, and a remote system.
If you get a call, it vibrates, then you can check who is calling to you.
You can get on Google Maps and find the nearest Starbucks. Boom, there it is, literally at your fingertips.
Young children who are blind and visually impaired can learn at an earlier age how to read Braille.
That is an open system. Anyone can write programs for it. All kinds of apps are already in development.
I can read in the dark, can you?
That's kind of cool, and I played that video for that last snippet, right? Because that's what we mean when we say that technology empowers people. Like, who would have thought you could put Braille into a smartwatch? But yeah, they've done it. It's released and it's actually a thing now. So the video was from 2015 or 2016, but it's now a thing. It's live, and I think they've got another couple of versions that have some more features even, and you can, develop apps and sort of make it do whatever you need it to do. So that's pretty cool. But in terms of the videos I've got, and I've got a few of them tonight, this is probably the one that I kind of go, this is really cool. And it's the clothing that you're wearing as the assistive technology.
Music should be for everyone. Introducing this Sound Shirt, a wearable device that enables the deaf to experience a concert through touch sensations. After 6 months of development, we put it to the test. This is how it works. Microphones all over the stage cover the different types of instruments. A software converts the sound into data and sends it to the shirt, where 16 vibration motors pulsate with the intensity of the music. For example, the bass on the stomach and the violins along the arms. Several deaf people tested the shirt, and their reactions speak for themselves. The Sound Shirt, now available at the Young Symphonic Orchestra of Hamburg.
That's a thing. That's a piece of clothing that allows someone who can't hear to experience music. And that's current tech. So I'm going to talk a bit later about some of the future stuff coming up, but that's current, and who would have thought that'd be a thing? So in terms of where we're going, because that's all that stuff was the past and the present. What's coming up is the future, obviously, and some of this is going to touch on what Rick just talked about, but they're good bits. So digital accessibility is, and I've said it's mainstream there, it's probably not there yet, but it's pretty close. The idea in the future is that digital accessibility is mainstream and things just work. You've got AI, you've got voice, and you've got personalization. So the picture up on the screen there is a series of voice-enabled speakers or smart speakers or whatever it is they're calling them. And every company seems to have one. So Apple's got one, Amazon's got one, Microsoft via someone else has got one, and Google's obviously got the Google Home. So it's kind of the thing that's happening at the moment is the smart speaker. But I wanted to kind of start with AI and look at what it could do to enable people with disabilities or empower people with disabilities in the everyday tasks, but also in the home. So imagine, the image recognition, the facial recognition, which we've got today, but imagine the automation of lip reading or the automation of text summarization for someone with reading disability, reading disorder, dyslexia even, and translations and transcriptions of, texts, books, speeches, sort of everything. So this is actually a demo of an app that Microsoft have released around AI with the aim of helping people with disabilities. And I made an announcement this morning, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but they're investing something along the lines of, is it 25 or 50 million, something like that, around AI technology specifically to help people with disabilities. And while this was done previously, it's I'd say this is the kind of things they're looking into.
Seeing AI is a Microsoft research project for people with visual impairments. The app narrates the world around you by turning the visual world into an audible experience. Point your phone's camera, select a channel, and hear a description. The app recognizes saved friends.
Jenny near top right, 3 feet away.
Describes the people around you, including their emotions.
28-year-old female wearing glasses looking happy.
It reads text out loud as it comes into view, like on an envelope.
Ken Lawrence, P.O. Box.
Or a room entrance.
Conference 2005.
Or scan and read documents like books and letters. The app will guide you and recognize the text with its formatting.
Top and left edge is not visible. Hold steady. Lease agreement. This agreement.
When paying with cash, the app identifies currency bills.
$20.
When looking for something in your pantry or at the store, use the barcode scanner with audio cues to help you find what you want.
Campbell's tomato soup.
When available, hear additional product details.
Heated microwave bowl on high.
And even hear descriptions of images in other apps like Twitter by importing them into Seeing AI.
A close-up of Bill Gates.
Finally, explore our experimental features like scene descriptions to get a glimpse of the future.
I think it's a young girl throwing a frisbee in the park.
Experience the world around you with the Seeing AI app from Microsoft.
So I don't normally do live demos, but Rick's in front of me and I kind of want to try this, so let's see what happens.
2017 D.
That didn't work. There we go. Ah.
3 faces. 35-year-old man with black hair looking happy.
Cool. So it works. I did try that in preparation for this talk with other people, and they weren't all that happy with the result. Told me I was 45, which is why I didn't try it on myself. I'm nowhere near close to that just yet. But hey, they're working on it, right? It's getting there. But I also wanted to introduce you guys to Otter, and I will show you, provided this works, I'll show you my phone after the session, because if it does what it says that it does, it will have transcribed my whole talk by the end of it, and I should be able to hand it over to Rick to caption the videos before he puts them online. So we'll see how well it works. Knowing my luck with live demos, it's not going to work at all, but we'll see what happens. But I guess the next thing that we're going to move into, and some of that was touched on just then, is the voice interactions, right? And that's where I kind of look at it and go, things like the Google Home or the Amazon Echo, I haven't played with the other ones, but particularly those two, I can see the real value for people with disabilities, even just from a home automation perspective, right? So being able to turn lights on and off. I saw a YouTube video when I was researching for this presentation of a guy that's hooked it up with automatic door openers in his house, and he's a wheelchair user, so he says, you know, Alexa, open door XYZ, and it'll open the door and he'll be able to, you know, wheel through it. So that's kind of cool. And obviously, you know, there's the stuff that we all kind of find cool where you sit there and go, okay, Google, and I hope I didn't set off anyone's Google assistants. You know, tell me what the weather is in Melbourne today, and it'll give you the weather report. And that's, you know, useful for us. But I figure if you've got someone with a disability that can automate functions in their home by using voice technology, I think that's where the real power of some of this mainstream tech actually comes into its own. And this is probably my favourite video of the night, and I told you I've got a lot of videos, so I'm kind of backing that up with the number of videos I'm showing you.
Echo stop. Echo. Turn on.
Okay.
Echo. Turn off John.
Okay.
A lot of times we'll call the kitchen light or the bedroom light, but some of those words were tough for him to use. So we figured that we could change the words to words that Richard could say, but also words that Richard could say that brought up, you know, people of his past he doesn't get to see much, family members, nephew, caregivers that he's liked in the past. So we found words that he could say and enjoyed saying, and the kitchen, mom.
Echo. Turn off mom.
Okay. What did the pepperoni say to the mozzarella? You want a pizza, me?
So what I really love about that video is he's clearly got a speech impediment, and they've been able to make the Echo as a voice recognition device because you can use the technology and map it to whatever words that he can actually say. They've made it work for him. And that's kind of cool. I don't know whether the Google Home can do a similar thing. I didn't find sort of any, didn't see any research or any videos on that. But the fact that you can do it with one of these devices is pretty cool. I'm making the assumption that if you can do it with one, you can do it with all, although I haven't been able to work out a way of remapping the trigger word for the Google Home yet. I know it is possible with the Alexa because you can remap to a couple of different things. So I think Echo is one, computer is another one, and there's probably another one or two in there as well. But yeah, when technology works, it works, and it's a real enabler. But the kind of, I guess I'm not going to say the final frontier because that kind of sounds a bit wrong. But the next step from all of this is actually personalization. So, you know, I can pick up a device, I can log in with my account, the cloud knows who I am, my settings, it updates, you know, my phone, my computer, my ATM screen if I insert my card and it's tied to my profile. You know, anything that I'm interacting with to match my needs and to bring in my settings and the way I use that device or those devices. And it's one of those things that's almost possible.
Imagine if you could pick up any device anywhere and it would automatically adapt to you.
Person picks up device and it changes size.
Imagine someone who is usually confused by technology. Now every computer looks like their personal device. Simple, with just the controls and features they need.
Complicated computer screen changes to a simple version.
Imagine a student who has to use computers in different labs and classrooms. If all of them worked exactly as needed.
student in 2 classrooms. Each computer becomes accessible as she needs it.
There's a way to offer accessibility solutions to more people in more situations. We call it the Global Public Inclusive Infrastructure, or GPII. The GPII will use the cloud. Users will start with a wizard that helps them choose how they want their personalized interface to look and work.
Personal computer making selections.
And store that profile in the cloud so that it's available from then on.
Profile information flows into the cloud.
The GPII will store information about devices, their uses and features.
Device information flows into the cloud.
Then, when a user needs an accessibility feature, the GPII will take the right user profile and features, check the device, and guide the device in using its own features to meet the user's needs.
Accessibility information flows from the cloud to the phone. Screen changes to large print.
The GPII will automatically apply the right tool to whatever device the person is using, wherever it is. So the interface will work the right way.
The same person now sees large print on a train ticket machine.
The GPII will be great for users. It will support independence with enabling technology. When you need it, where you need it, how you need it.
The GPII is an international collaborative effort. For more information, visit http://gpii.org.
Now, got to say, the stuff that was shown there, once that becomes a reality, I think we're going to have some fun. I mean, it's kind of, it just looks cool, right? Being able to log into whatever it is and have everything personalized to what I need, how I need it, and it just works. Now, you know, they showed the cloud there, and you know, if you know, there's privacy concerns with all this sort of stuff, right? But if I could use the cloud to store that sort of stuff, so that as soon as I walked into a computer lab, that computer that I logged into knew that I needed, you know, large text or different contrast or whatever it might be, screen reading technology or screen magnifiers. That's, I think for me, that's a reason where you go, all right, cool. I can understand that it needs some information about me, and I can understand why, and you know, it's a good idea. So I kind of, that's the state that I want to get to. That was also the last video I've got, and I'm pretty sure I'm finished, but let's see what happens. Hey, there we go. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. For anyone that wants to hear more about accessibility, we've got Global Accessibility Awareness Day event next week on Thursday called A11y. Details are up there, but if you want more info, let me know after this, and yeah, I can give them to you. If anyone wants to see if Otter worked, come find me after, and we'll both be surprised as to whether it did or didn't. Thank you.